Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Welcome, everybody. This is Joanne Kandrak, and this is Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. Today, we are recording episode 35, and we are going to talk about how to buy high-end furniture at a fraction of the price. This is not your general way that you can do this, but we're going to talk to you about a charity we're participating in right now called Dwell with Dignity. And we've been part of this charity for several years, but this is the first time we've been asked to design a vignette for something called Thrift Studio here in Atlanta. We've talked about Dwell with Dignity before, and so we'll just give you a little recap. It's a charity that was started in Dallas back in 2009 by two designers, Lisa Robison and Kim Turner. They have figured out this way to deal with agencies that work with homeless families, that where the agencies nominate the families who want to be self-sufficient and
finally have the ability to do
yes,
so.
Where they're in a place where they've come from a really bad place and they're working towards bettering their lives. And so what Dwell with Dignity does, it furnishes a family's home, generally an apartment, stocks the pantry with groceries, and provides the first night's meal. So it's designers are donating their time, resources, and furniture, which we'll get to that, what Thrift Studio is all about, for these people who have worked to earn a beautiful place to live. So we're able to furnish these apartments by donations that come from the design community, manufacturers, retailers, and the general community. And this Thrift Studio that we're working on is our largest fundraiser.
Yeah, we're so excited about it. And I want to, I was thinking last night, I wanted to preface this kind of this show by, so we always record, are we 2 weeks ahead of when it gets released? So, so today is the 13th of September, actually. So we just have, spend some time remembering 9/11 this week. And as we sit here, we are awaiting Hurricane Florence to hit tomorrow. To a lot of our friends and family and designer community on this East Coast in North Carolina and South Carolina. And so I think it's kind of, I don't know, for me, it's kind of a reflective time to think about how you can pay it forward and how you can, just do what you can do. Yeah. And it can be big and it could be little. It doesn't matter. But this is, I don't know.
I was just watching the news this morning. There was a gentleman talking about a previous hurricane when he lost his house. And it was a while ago. And he just started talking about it and he got it really choked up. And it's true. Losing your home, that's like your comfort, your whatever. It's very devastating.
Yeah. So, and I think we all need to sit here and go, if you're sitting there going, well, I give my cast-offs to Goodwill and, I tithe at my church, try and do a little more. We all need to do a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be anything super big. It could be sending a small note to a first responder on the anniversary of 9/11 or, bringing a meal to a friend who's, or bring water to somebody that's, having a hard time, whatever. So anyway, I was just thinking about a lot since we've been doing this. And the other thing I wanted to add is that a lot of times, and in this case, what we're talking about today, is giving back can be super fun. This is a really fun event we're working on, and it is Thrift Studio, like Joanne was saying. And Thrift Studio, what it is, it started in Dallas with Dwell with Dignity, and they've had such success with it that we are now in a place in Atlanta where we can do the same. And it's a pop-up shop that's created to provide funds for Dwell with Dignity. And so Thrift Studio does this by selling donated furniture and housewares and accessories and high-end designer finds to the public. So since this concept launched back in Dallas in 2011, the event has grown into this highly anticipated can't-miss event for all the Dwell with Dignity supporters and in the interior design community and the general public, because I'm telling you, like, this stuff is gorgeous, and it's all out there at 60% off the retail price. The original art, which we have tons of in our space, and the other designers do too, is 40% off. So,
and this is, this is stuff that's donated by designers. So the stuff is not like something you would necessarily see. Like the girl next to us has this beautiful velvet kind of teal day bed.
I love it.
That, you walk in and you'll look at that and go, wow, that's probably really expensive. But if it's 60% off of that price, makes it really affordable. So by having this preview party, which it will be on September 27th, so this will be the day after this records, you can still get tickets. They're $150 a ticket, but quite honestly, you can purchase one item, and that would
you'll make that
in the purchase,
and it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
So
the great thing too is if you can't make it that evening, there's the pop-up shop that starts September 28th, the day after that, and it runs through October 19th, from Monday through Friday, from 10 to 5:30, and it is at ADAC, which is the Atlanta Decorative Arts Center. It's a showroom where the public can go browse, but you have to buy something through a designer. But the pop-up shop will be open, and you can walk through there and you can purchase items, whatever's left. See, that's why the preview party is like you get the first dibs on the best stuff.
Yeah.
So for the full details of this, and if you want to purchase tickets, you can go to dwellwithdignity.org, but you can probably still make it for the preview party.
Yeah. And if you go to their website and you listen to some of the videos, get ready to have the tissues nearby, because now Joanne and I did an apartment makeover for a mom. We've talked about it before, but just to kind of remind you, if you haven't heard that podcast, it was 3 years ago for a young African-American girl. She was so sweet and so smart and so beautiful, and she had just gotten hung up with this loser bad guy, and her life just turned upside down, and she had these 2 baby girls, and she was just in a bad spot, and they had been living in a car, and they had shelters, and she had finally kind of gotten a job where she could put the first month's deposit down on an apartment, and that's what these agencies are looking for. These moms, generally they are single moms that are really trying so hard, and they're making progress, but they just need that boost.
Right. You can't just hand this over to somebody who's not quite ready for something like that.
So we went in with a couple designer friends with Dwell, and we overhauled. When we got to the apartment, it was so dingy and gross. I think there was one mattress on the floor. She may have had a TV, and that was really it. The 2 little girls were sleeping, I think, with her on the mattress, or they may have had their own mattress on the floor.
Yeah, we had to get beds for them.
Yeah, so when we were done, the entire apartment was completely furnished to the nines through, again, all these donations. The pantry and freezer were completely full of food, a vacuum cleaner, cleaning supplies, pots and pans, plates. And then we had a professional photographer there the day of the reveal, and he took beautiful pictures that the family could have them.
So part of what this fundraiser does is it keeps money in a kitty. So one thing that stays constant with all of these installations is there will always be new mattresses. Mm-hmm. There is always
new sheets.
New sheets. We talked about the first night's dinner, the food in the pantry. A professional photographer will take a day and photograph the family and then have the photos framed, and those are also put. Mm-hmm. So that's a great memory for them to know this is the start of our new life.
Yeah.
So,
and to hear the stories of these little kids who have never had a sleepover, never had a birthday party.
Don't want to have anybody over for a play date.
Nobody, where are you going to go to have a play date? In a shelter, or in a car. So these kids, their lives are transforming. And then the moms, they have this newfound dignity and confidence and view of the world that there is hope for them. And it's so awesome. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't live in Atlanta, that's all well and good. I bet you $1 million there's something in your city or in your town that is similar to this in some way of lifting families out of poverty. So just that's kind of why we're bringing attention to this and telling you about our experience with Thrift Studio, because it's been what we've been doing all week long.
And another way to get involved is Dwell with Dignity sets up volunteer days so that you can sign up. So prior to an install, what they'll do is they'll have a warehouse or somewhere where people can come and put furniture together, paint, sew, clean, hang draperies, and so much more. So it's a great way you can meet other people. You can learn a new skill.
So that applies for Atlanta and Dallas.
Yes.
Throughout the cities.
Yeah.
So, it's awesome. Mm-hmm. So back to Thrift Studio. We have some co-chairs, right?
Yes. John Otkin of Otkin Design and John Lineweaver. He is with Lineweaver Designs and Communications, and he does graphic design and branding for interior designers.
Cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. And then this year, and I don't know if they had this last year. Well, yeah, they did. They have art chairs from Trinity Mercantile and Design in Decatur, very cool place, who's in charge of finding artists to donate their original work to Thrift Studio. And then the designers, we had a little event, and we chose the items that would look good in our events. And Lisa Turner and Wallace Bryan are chairing that. And let me tell you what, this art is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And if we had that podcast on original art, and what we talked about there was don't be intimidated by pricing. And, there's ways to get these beautiful things in your house.
These
and
pieces
this is it.
are 40% off of the retail.
Yeah.
Designers don't even get that kind of pricing. So there's some beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm really tempted myself.
I know. We may be ripping some stuff off the wall and writing a check to Thrift Studio.
So along with us are 6 other designers. Douglas W. Hilton. He's a great designer here in Atlanta. He just finished up the Cashier Show House. He does a lot of show houses. It's really cool. Kristen Kong of K Kong Designs. We've known her for a really long time. She's very active with ASID. She's actually the upcoming ASID president. If you don't know what that is, it's the American Society of Interior Designers.
I always get
and then
tongue-tied
another totally talented designer, Amy Morris of Amy Morris Interiors, Bradley Odom of Dixon Rye. Dixon Rye is a retail store that has the most interesting
I love that place.
High-end furnishings, accessories, and things like that.
Down on the west side, down off Howell Mill, if you're familiar with Atlanta.
And then Lauren, Lauren Audrey Taylor, who's a really, really nice person and does beautiful work as well. So we're amongst some very, very great designers. And when you walk into the place, you feel like you're in a totally high-end showroom.
Yeah.
That's all of this stuff is donated. We've had to put this together. Mm-hmm. So,
and it's if I can paint a picture for you, you walk into kind of like this showroom, and there's all these kind of floating walls up, and every designer has a space. So ours is 15 feet wide by 26 feet long. It's huge, and we all Benjamin Moore donated the paint so that we could all make our vignette areas our own kind of thing. And so we've got 2 big walls, floor to ceiling, that we covered in art, and it's painted Benjamin Moore peony. So we got some hot pink in there, baby.
Yes. Yeah. It's 2079-30.
For all you color freaks, this is a good pink.
Yeah.
You want to say that again because people are scrambling for pens?
Okay. Peony, Peony, 2079-30. It's incredible.
There you go. Benjamin Moore.
So how the Thrift Studio works for the designers. Okay, so we told you that the donations come from showrooms, designers, manufacturers, and they're kept in a warehouse. So the selected designers actually shop the warehouse to help.
It was like supermarket sweep.
It totally was. They let us come there. And you could walk around, you can kind of eye things, and you could kind of get your plan together. You might find an inspiration piece and say, okay, that's it. That's what's going to set the tone for our whole space. But you don't know if you're going to get that.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of walk around, and you have to kind of remember where things are. And everybody had their little team with them.
And we had tags of different colors. So we were the pink tags.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, let's remember this is for charity. Let's not get crazy.
Put your elbows down.
Yes. And said, go. And what was so great about it was everybody really got what they wanted. Nobody was fighting over anything.
No, because we all went in all different directions, which was fantastic. I thought it would be brutal, and it wasn't.
It wasn't at all. So we had all of our stuff tagged, and then we left, and then we went back to the office and laid it all out. We had to measure every piece, take photos of it, and then try to put that all together. prior to the install, which was yesterday. So it was so great because we got a lot of things from the warehouse, but we had some additional donors that we really, really want to thank because they are donating this. This is something that they're giving from their studios or create something just for this to help out.
And they made the space. I mean, we snagged some pretty cool stuff from the warehouse. I was kind of hesitant. I'm like, oh, it's going to be junk. I mean, our standards are so high. We're not going to want any of that stuff on there. And then we got these two like orange leather chairs and this beautiful gray settee and this super cool classic home like wood carved coffee table and this tufted linen chair. I mean, we got some cool stuff. Yeah. But then we had to zhuzh it, and really make it
Well, we had these two
ours.
gigantic walls.
Yeah.
And we did have some art that we got from the warehouse, but like we've talked about, I mean, that's all nice, but original art is a whole nother story.
But it did mix really well. I was
did.
thinking about that this morning, that the art that we got from the warehouse it's matted and framed, it's prints, it's watercolors. They're all really nice. And they mixed really well with all of our original art. So I was glad about that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's our thank yous to Taylor Cox, which we talk about her all the time and just love her. We got one of her signature beach paintings.
Love.
Jay Scott, he's here in Atlanta as well. He made a beautiful, specifically for us, 48 by 60. It's like a serene kind of landscape that's gray and pink.
That thing's going to sell in 3 seconds.
Great in the spot, yes. Laura Park, beautiful, colorful, abstract art.
I can't believe she gave us a piece. Her stuff is in demand.
Yes, very much so.
And then Pamela Coatman, our Snuggle Bunny designer best friend in Massachusetts, donated a piece that I'm trying to be so good with this lake house, but I think I must snag this off the wall. It's an original art. It's little 6x6, but it's in this cool frame, and it's of this blonde lady with blonde hair with black sunglasses on, and she's got this colorful jacket on, and her arms are spread out, and it's just the coolest little piece.
Yeah, it really is cute. And then one of our big fans, Curry and Company, that has gorgeous lamps. They sell some furniture and some accessories, but they donated a really funky, cool floor lamp for us.
And it's one that we've never used before, and I totally love it. And it lights up the entire art wall. So I'm so glad we got it.
Yeah. Couture lamps. Another beautiful, as a matter of fact, Couture Lamps, we may have her on our show as a guest.
Yes, the owner, Yana.
The owner's a very cool girl, but we got a really cool marble Buddha lamp, and then black and white lamps that
are very like geometric and retro
really cool. And
they're all brand spanking new.
Yeah,
so they're coming in. We pulled them out of the boxes, and they'll be 40% off. 60% off retail. So,
and she donated some accessories as well, and then. Surya rugs. We've got 2 8x10.
I think they're 8x11. Just a little correction.
Okay. They are this colorful pink and orange.
They're going to sell in 3 seconds flat.
Everybody that's walked by is going, where are those from?
Yeah.
Where are those from?
And they're not expensive.
Yeah, they're not. So once again, the art is 40% off retail, and the furniture and all the other decor items are 60% off retail. Oh,
and then our buddy came and hung out with us yesterday, Greg Fleming. He does all of our custom succulents for that we accessorize and stylize with. And he brought a couple pieces, but the one that was just made the space is this huge terrarium that is filled with black rocks and moss, and it looks so you would never ever know that it was preserved.
A couple years ago when I was doing my screened-in porch, I purchased from him the hanging glass, when at the different levels, and it had like air plants in there, and he put like that clear glue that looks like water. Everybody that comes over goes, how do you keep those air plants alive? They look so real.
You're like, it's my skills.
I am over. I'm not into fake stuff, but
you can't when you can't tell.
A succulent, you really can't tell.
Yeah. So our space, like I said, it has the 2 walls on either side, floor to ceiling, peony, Benjamin Moore, covered in art, and then we have a great. The way the furniture is laid out, we've got a sofa, a settee, 3 chairs, 2 consoles, accessorized to the nines.
4 end tables.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We've got a lot of furniture in there.
Yeah, so it worked out really, really well. So, what else?
Well,
when we were there yesterday, we were one of the first designers to install, because we're just like that. But Amy Morris's space was going in, and oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. She had that, like you said, that teal daybed and great art and
Some beautiful window treatments hanging too.
Oh, she did. She put window treatments on the wall.
The ceilings in this place are pretty high, so even if the length might have been too long, you could always hem those. This fabric, you could tell, is just like yeah, it's some beautiful.
I can't wait for Kristen's space, because her space is huge, and I know she's going to do great things. And then the Dixon Rye guys, they've got this. What is that color on their walls?
Like a teal.
Benjamin
peacock.
Moore. They'll share the color, but it's like this deep blue that is. I can't wait to see their space. So it's all looking very nice.
Yeah. We went to the event last year, and we really, really had fun. So I guess it wasn't really on my radar for us to ever do something like that. So when they approached us, we were like, totally, because number one, we love doing it and we love being a part of it. But the event is really fun. They had a DJ. They had drinks. They had, music going on, and a lot of our colleagues were there. It's really, not only is it great for the public to be able to get some of this stuff, but as a designer, we bought some things that we used in our projects.
Yeah.
So it's just a good all-around kind of fun event.
So mark your calendar, September 27th at ADAC, and ADAC is located in Buckhead. It's really easy to get to from all over, and it'll be a really, really super fun event. The other thing that's opening up, like right after this show hits the airwaves, is the Atlanta Homes and Lifestyles Show House at Serenbe. So, and of course, all show houses benefit charity. So this is another way to, pay it forward. Your ticket always goes towards not only your design pleasure, but to a great charity. And if you've never been to Serenbe, which is on the south side of Atlanta, I highly recommend.
That could be a really fun, like, girls' weekend.
That is a totally fun girls' weekend.
Even like designers to take a little field trip.
Yep.
You can do a little bit of shopping. There's great shopping in Atlanta. There is so many great, art galleries and antique shops, and do a little Thrift Studio, do a little bit of shopping there, go
and that
to
show
the
house
show
is going to be
house.
amazing.
Yeah.
But Serenbe's its own little kind of nuclear community that was founded by Steve Nygren and his wife and family, and it's all self-sustaining. It's very artistic. Everything is just organic and farm to table, and they've got great restaurants, and it's kind of like the ultimate hippiedom. I absolutely love the whole area.
Hippies with money.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
But it's a great event. So that's happening too. So just another way to, give it up. Give it up. All right, you want to talk about
our quotes?
Our quotes.
Okay.
Which one you want?
So,
you're going to do inspirational?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you do the funny.
Okay.
When you give and expect a return, that's an investment. When you give and don't expect anything back, that's love. That's sweet.
Where'd you find that? I love that. That is
too.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And I think when you give and you don't expect anything back, it
great.
does come back to you.
It's a great feeling.
It comes back to you over and over and over again, but only if you don't expect it, and only if that wasn't your motivation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we just know that we are praying and thinking positive thoughts for all of our friends and family that are about to be affected by Hurricane Florence in less than 24 hours. But we thought, amongst the madness and the stress and the hype, maybe we would give you something funny about.
But let's preface this. So we were driving in the car yesterday, and we weren't. A lot of times I have to look for the funny quote.
Yeah.
But we weren't looking for a funny quote, but we're driving, and I said, Kelly, go on to like Twitter or somewhere that's giving you the most up-to-date information, and maybe, use the hashtag Hurricane Florence or, something like that, so we can get like the quickest update.
Yeah, because we were waiting, like Joanne's daughter and fiance came evacuated from Charleston, and I was waiting to hear if my nieces were coming. So we're really just trying to get the latest news. So here comes this. So I search hashtag Hurricane Florence, thinking I'm going to get some
a radar
some
picture
brutal news, right? But no, this is what comes up. So it's a photo of a grocery store with all the shelves completely empty, and the the saying is, you all know you're just buying water because you think you're supposed to and because you're trying to fit in. We see you drinking Diet Coke and sweet tea every day. When you start drinking that water.
So true.
Like, back off the water, people.
Yeah. You don't normally drink it. Don't start drinking it now.
Yeah, leave some for the other people.
Well,
So we hope you think that's funny, even though Hurricane Mean Girl Florence is not funny.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, thank you everybody for listening as usual. We have some great new content in store for you. So thanks again and keep on listening.
thank you. Smile and pay it forward. Bye.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.